Everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys, I'm going to be profiling for you an update of my Dark Magician deck. A lot of you guys have been asking for an update of this Dark Magician deck, and I'm bringing it to you today. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. So there's many different ways you can play Dark Magician, depending upon if you want to take it against the meta, or play it more for casual, or just have somewheres in between. There's many different variations, many different tech cards that people play in Dark Magician. Personally, I'm going to say from just watching other people play Dark Magician since the new support came out, and we have everything at the moment except Apprentice Magician, and I believe there's one other card, but Apprentice Magician is the main one. That is not out over here in the TCG yet, but there's many different ways people play Dark Magician. No two Dark Magician decks are the same, I've always seen, but this is the way I like playing Dark Magician, and this is what's been working for me, and I thoroughly enjoy it. So without further ado, let us get to the deck profile. So first off, we have our 3 Dark Magician, the vanilla. My 2 OG Dark Magician from back in the day. I got these out of the Yugi structure deck. These are not from the tins, actually. These are the original Dark Magicians that I got when I was a kid. I took very good care of them, thankfully. But very, very useful cards, and the main purpose and heart and soul of the deck, so to speak. And then you have the 1 red Dark Magician because I like his alternative artwork. So 2 original and 1 red Dark Magician. Oh, and by the way, if you guys are wondering who this is on the playmat, this is Matat, or Matat, I believe it's pronounced. Jaden and GX summoned him against Tragodia in the manga. So that's who this is, Matat or Matat. Jaden summoned him. But on to the deck profile again. Next up we have 3 Magicians of Dark Illusion. Magicians of Dark Illusion. He's kind of like falls in the same category as like an alternative version of Dark Magician. Kind of like Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon's an alternative Blue Eyes White Dragon kind of dealio. Reverse stats and all, 21,000, 2,100 attack, 2,500 defense. You mainly use this guy for a couple of different reasons. Mainly for rank 7 plays in combination with your Dark Magician. And secondly, sometimes if you draw multiples, you banish one with Allure of Darkness. More draw power. So that's the main reasons you run 3 of him. His effect that you can, if you activate a trap on your opponent's turn, you can special summon him, is one of the main ways you get him out, but his other effect is very useful to bring back Dark Magicians from the graveyard. So he's very versatile and has many different, facets in the deck, and he wears many different hats. Not magician hats, but just hats in general, because he performs a lot of different functions. Next up, we run our 3 Magician's Rod. This is your mini searcher for the deck, your Stratos, so to speak. Helps you search out any of your Magician spell or trap cards. So it can help you search out your Dark Magical Circle. Wish you could search out Allure of Darkness, my apologies there. Dark Illusion Magician, which is the main card I usually search out first turn. Dark Magic Attack, which I usually don't search out. Dark Magician's Inheritance, a good card. You can search out Dedication through Light and Darkness. And you can search out Magician's Navigation as well as Eternal Soul. So there's a lot of targets for him. He's very useful. You can, add him back to the hand by attributing a Spellcaster, I believe it's on the field, which I do sometimes. So overall, he's very, very useful and integral to the deck. If you get him an opening hand and you have no Dark Magicians, usually the first thing you do is you search out Illusion Magician, because if you search out the Illusion Magician, then you can get Dark Magicians to your hand, and then you can start going off, especially if you have like a Navigation or Eternal Soul. So first turn, and if you don't have no Dark Magicians, you always go for Illusion Magician. But otherwise, go up to, search whatever you want to, but depending upon your hand. But that's just my 2 cents on that. I also want 1 Magician's Robe. A lot of people don't like Magician's Robe. They'll cut him for things like Kaiku because they're facing ABCs or meta dot deck. Some people run Night End Sorcerer so they can go into some cool little synchro plays. I mean, you can do that, and I wouldn't say you shouldn't, but I always have this thing when I play against people that play Dark Magician and they play those cards. They always seem to draw them, and then they're just like, well, I gotta waste my normal summon to get this card out, or I have to, it's kind of a dead card unless you can get it off Magician's Navigation. So I went with Magician's Robe because Magician's Robe was helping when I had clunky hands, and that 2,000 defense, if I drew it, I could set it, and it could give me some protection. So you could run whatever you want to, a Kaiku, a Night End Sorcerer, whatever you want to, but I prefer Magician's Robe. So it's usually you choose one of those three, or one Kaiku or one Knight and Sorcerer, but that's up to you to decide. I went with the rank 4 variation of the deck instead of going for the Synchros and everything, because that's what I like, and I like going for the Gusto Emerald and just my rank 4 toolbox. So that's the way I took the deck instead of going for Kaiku and Knight and Sorcerer type of plays, because these guys were live no matter if I drew them. So, so that's the reason why. So first off, you got your 2 Summoner Monks, which help you go for a bunch of different plays, and you rank 4 plays. And if you have dead spells in your hand, whatever, you can pitch them. Get a rank 4 out, go for a Gusto Emerald, Reborn a Dark Magician if you really wanted to OTK your opponent, go for a Trapeze Magician, go for any rank 4, go for Utopia the Lightning if you're having trouble getting over a big monster, which sometimes Dark Magician has trouble with. It does have trouble with big monsters, somewhat. But you also have the Chocolate Magician Girl, because she can give you some more draw power to the deck. The deck has a lot of draw power as is. You have Pod Duality, you have Magician's Rod for searching, you got Allure of Darkness, and you have Chocolate Magician for more draw power. I mean, one of the best plays I like in the deck is I can go Summon a Monk, get out Chocolate Magician, pitch a dead Spellcaster out of my hand, maybe an Illusion, Rogue, whatever, pitch it, go for a rank 4 play, and I get an extra draw. I get 1 card deeper into my deck. Pretty nice. So that's the play I like. Different people have different ways they like running this. Like I said, some people run Kaiku and Knight and Sorcerer. Some people run the rank 4 engine. Different, different things for different folks. But I like my rank 4s because I like going into just my rank 4 pool of my deck. So that's just me. But Chocolate Magician does put in work, and if you draw her, you can actually just normal summon her. You don't have to use it with Summon a Monk, and she can bide you a turn or two, like a Blue Eyes White Maiden, which can be the difference in a duel sometimes. So I do like her for that reason as well. Probably going to keep them in the deck even when a Apprentice Magician comes out, but this is probably the card I'll cut for Apprentice Magician. Dark Magician of Chaos with the Errata. He's still useful in the deck. A lot of people don't like running him. They think he's clunky, he's cloggy. Well, if you're running this, you can send him to the graveyard from your hand, and he will be out of, you get to draw 1 card deeper into your deck and all things of that nature. Plus, you can still bring him back through Dedication through Light and Darkness, which is still nice, and it's a quick play spell to boot. So I do like the Dark Magician of Chaos. It's a nice little thing. If it's dead in your hand, you can just banish it with Allure of Darkness and not have to worry about banishing a Dark Magician, which does suck sometimes. So rather banish this guy than a Dark Magician is pretty much what I'm saying. So I do like him as a one-of. You don't have to run him. If and when Apprentice Magician comes over here to the TCG, I will probably cut him for 1 Apprentice Magician, and probably cut Dedication through Light and Darkness for another Apprentice Magician. So I'm thinking of running double Apprentice Magician, but I haven't played with the card in real life, so I don't know how it'll gel with the rest of the deck, so to speak. But for right now, I do like my 1 Dark Magician of Chaos, because it does come in handy, and you can get some powerful spells, which is nice. Next up, 3 Dark Magical Circle. Also, the nice thing is about him is he's a 28 beater, so sometimes he can get over things that Dark Magician can't get over to, which is one of the other reasons I like him as well. So yeah, that's just me. Next, 3 Magician Circle, such a good card in the deck. It's kind of like a archetypal Pod Duality, I guess you could say. You activate it, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and if one of those 3 cards, or any of those cards, have Dark Magician written in their text, you can add them 1 to your hand, and then add any order you want to of the other 2 cards. So it's a very good card. I like it. It helped, and then when you special summon a Dark Magician, we'll get a Dark Magician to the field. You can banish 1 card your opponent controls. So overall, a very powerful card, very good card. Helps you just extend your combo plays and just get rid of things that are annoying. So it's one of the main ways Dark Magician will get over things that it can't get over normally, because it's a 25 beater. And if you can't go into the extra deck, you'll be like, oh, he has that big beat stick on the field. Well, let me just banish it. So while you can do that, sometimes you can have some trouble with it, but usually you search it out. So I like it as a 3-of, definitely very useful and important to the deck. Next, I run 3 Allure of Darkness. I was deciding about a month or so ago when I was revisiting this deck. Should I run 2 Allure of Darkness with 3 Allure of Darkness? After playtesting, I pretty much said, it's Allure of Darkness, run it as a 3-of. It's too good of a card not to. So for now, I'm running 3 Allure of Darkness in the deck, more draw power in the deck. Can't complain about that. Get to your trap cards like your, your different type of trap cards. Next up, we have 3 Pod Duality. Consistency. You're usually going to special summon on your opponent's turn or during their end phase, which sometimes I do, depending upon the situation. So you can go Pod Duality on your turn, search for more cards you need, set your back row, because optimally what you want to do, I find sometimes, is a good case scenario is I've normal summoned a Magician's Rod, I've searched out a card, I maybe have another couple cards in my hand, I use Pod Duality, thin through my deck first turn, and then I set maybe 3 or 4 back row, pass turn to my opponent, and then I go off on their turn, or during their end phase. So 3 Pod Duality. You can cut it down to 2 of if you really wanted to, but I prefer 3 of. It works very well in the deck. So Pod Duality with Lure of Darkness is a lot of thinning and deck drawing, which I like. Then for your one of quick play spells that I run that are Dark Magician Pacific, I guess you could say. We run 1 Illusion Magician, 1 Dark Magicians of Inheritance, and 1 Dedication through Light and Darkness. So Dedication Lightness through Darkness is a quick play spell. You can search it out, and it helps you get out Dark Magician of Chaos, which is nice. Illusion Magician, some people like running this as a 2 of or 1 of. It's up to you to decide what you want to run. With all the draw power and thinning, I usually get to my Dark Magicians very early, but this is just an extra card in case I don't, or I want to re-add Dark Magicians, so it's very nice. But it's a very good card in the deck. And Dark Magical Inheritance. I like this card. I like it a lot, but the problem is it can be very dead. So I know I've seen some people run, 3 of this card and 2 of this card. I prefer just 1 of Dark Magical Inheritance. It's a good card, don't get me wrong, but it takes a little bit of setup. And if you draw 2 of these in your opening hand and you only have a bad hand, you lose. You lose the duel right there. It's very useful, but I like the fact that I can search it out when I want to search out another card to thin out my deck. And I just like it in general because it's a pretty dang good top deck on top of everything, and it's a quick play spell. So I like it as a 1 of. You could run it as a 2 of, that's okay, but 3 of, I would highly, say I would not do that. So that's just me, but those are my quick play spells. Next we have your Dark Magic Attack and your Eye of Timaeus. Eye of Timaeus cannot be searched in the deck, I know that. One of my judge friends last time told me a wrong answer when I asked him. He apologized later on, but Eye of Timaeus is still useful in the deck because sometimes, and I do like it, is because I can go for things like, I don't know, maybe it's just the nostalgia junkie in me, but Amulet Dragon and Dark Paladin. And Dark Paladin can win you duels against certain decks. I mean, flat out just win you duels. Especially if you get playing against Blue Eyes White Dragon, yeah. But no matter the fact, I just like the Dark Paladin. It's a good play. And you have the Amulet Dragon, which sometimes is useful, especially if you want to go for a play that's conservative, but you're still going to get a benefit if Amulet Dragon gets destroyed. So I like them. They're multi-versatile, and running 1 Eye of Timaeus is perfectly fine. And the reason I like running the Eye of Timaeus is, if you guys don't know, and why I like running the 1 Eye of Timaeus, is because you can use it with Dark Magician, and you also, where it is here, you can use it with Magicians of Dark Illusion, if you didn't know that, because when he's on the field, he's treated as Dark Magician. So say you special summoned him, okay, you got him to the field, and you say, well, I got another Dark Magician on the field right now, I got 2 Dark Magicians, so I can go for a rank 7 play. Well, what am I going to do with this Illusion Magician, Well, I could just use Eye of Timaeus, go into an Amulet Dragon, go into a Dark Paladin, it doesn't matter. So it's useful. I do like the Eye of Timaeus. It's very useful in the deck and comes in handy. So that's just me, though. But Dark Magic Attack is very useful. It's your pretty much heavy Harpy's Feather Duster for the deck. You can search it out. That's why I've won just 1 of it. But it's very, very powerful and very useful in the deck. Dark Magic Attack. So definitely a 1 of in the deck. And I love my hollow version of it that I've had forever. Next up, we have some other spell cards. 1 Upstart Goblin, Regeki. Regeki, clear the board. Upstart Goblin, a little bit more draw power goes a long way. So yeah. Then we have your traps. Your Magician's Navigation, which is very powerful in the deck. It's honestly, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but this card's more important than Eternal Soul. I will say that, in my humble opinion, it is a little bit more important than Eternal Soul. it's your power play of your deck. This card is. This is your power play. This is you going off with your Dark Magician deck. So I definitely, some people I've seen run 2 Magician's Navigation. You could do that, but I personally prefer 3 Magician's Navigation. I use 1 to 2 per duel, and then once I use my Magician's Navigation, then I start abusing my Eternal Soul, and then the rest is history. So 3 Magician's Navigation. You can use Magician's Navigation if it's in the graveyard, if you actually have your Eternal Soul out on field. Banish it and protect your Eternal Soul. If your opponent tries to pop it, MST it, Twin Twister it, whatever, you can be like, banish, negate that Twin Twister, protect my Eternal Soul. So it's a very powerful card in the deck, and I definitely like the 3 Magician's Navigation. Next up, you have your 3 Eternal Soul. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'll probably get some flack for this, but I've been trying this out. I've been trying out just running 2 Eternal Souls in the deck. I know everybody and their brother runs 3 Eternal Souls because it's a pretty dang good card. Reborning Dark Magicians and giving protection to your Dark Magicians is awesome. But I've found myself more and more testing to see how it works. Just for fun, that is, and finding that I only really needed 2 Eternal Souls. So as of right now, I'm going to run 3 of it, but I'm still testing it, but I'm kind of leaning towards just running 2 Eternal Souls because it's searchable and you can easily get it out in the deck because you have so much draw power and thinning your deck. You can easily get to your Eternal Souls in the deck. So I'm thinking about it, but I haven't fully committed to it yet. But that's just something if you want to think about. You could definitely run 2 Eternal Souls and get away with it. 3 is just icing on the cake. I've thought about, maybe cutting the Eternal Soul, 1 Eternal Soul for a triple strike. That way I have more protection for my monsters. So for right now, though, I'm running 2 strike and 1 warning. But like I said, you can maybe cut 1 Eternal Soul out for 3 strikes or whatever. It's up to you. But this is what I'm running right now. Double strike and 1 solemn warning gives you some more protection. On to the extra deck, guys. We have your Yugi tokens, because when you have double Yugi tokens, they bring you good luck. And by the way, if I didn't mention this earlier, I actually got invited to Duelist Kingdom recently, so I'm going to be going on a boat trip very soon. This weather is getting too cold for me, so I'm going to head down south to the islands of Pegasus, and hopefully he doesn't take my soul. But yeah, whatever. Sorry for the bad joke there, I had to do it. Next we have, for your extra deck now, we have 2 Ebanon Illusion Magician. Definitely run 2 of in the deck. He's your main rank 7 you'll go for in the deck. Any other rank 7s are just gravy. Your 1 Ebanon High Magician, he's kind of your defensive card for the deck. Your 1 Dark Paladin and your 1 Amulet Dragon, like I talked about earlier. Your Big Eye, your Red Eyes Dark Flare Metal Dragon, and your Mega Phantom Beast Drago Sack. So these are my rank 7s I run for. The main ones I go into are Big Eye, Mega Phantom Beast, but if I'm going for a game and I got them low on life points, I will go for Flare Metal Dragon to burn them for some, things, especially if they're a very combo-oriented deck. For your rank 4s, Dagusto Emerald and Trap Trick, Performer Pal Trapeze Magician are definitely a staple if you're running the Summon a Monk engine. Number 1, because you can OTK with Trapeze Magician, and number 2, Dagusto Emerald is another way of reborning your Dark Magician, because people forget you can use Dagusto Emerald's effect to reborn Dark Magician. Doesn't say that in the text, but you can reborn a normal monster. And also, Dagusto Emerald can help reuse your resources, which is very useful as well. So we run those guys, and they're definitely a staple if you're running Summon a Monk engine. Then we got Castel, 101, Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon. You can't tell what that is, that's Dark Rebellion. 101 and Castel, and then you run the Utopia package of Utopia, and number S39 Utopia the Lightning. So I like going to Utopia the Lightnings. This deck can actually OTK fairly well. I was kind of impressed with it when I was building it originally, but with all the support out as of right now to make the deck functionable, you can OTK pretty good in this deck actually. Not consistently, but when you do it, you usually win. Well, you would win, but you know what I mean. It's like you can do it pretty consistently, but you can't do it all the time because sometimes it's not the most optimal play to go for. So the opportunity presents itself, but you're not always going to take it because it's not the most optimal play. But I hope you guys all enjoyed this deck profile. Go Dark Magician, go Yu-Gi-Moto, and until next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling. I hope you guys all enjoyed this Dark Magician girl. Dark Magician deck profile, and I'll see you guys next time. Good luck dueling to all of you.